Have you ever gotten in trouble for breaking a rule that you didn't know existed? Sometimes that happens to us in life and business. It reminds me as a parent, like it's my job to be better. We're talking about KDP rules, and Amazon doesn't always tell you when they update their guidelines. In this video, we're talking about the 3 most updated guidelines. We've had a video about this that was very similar, but we're going to go a little bit deeper. And one of the reasons we're going deeper is because I wanted to give a shout out to Dave Chesson of Kindlepreneur, who recently put out an article about these guidelines. This is part of the terms and conditions that Amazon asks you to click the button for when you open your KDP account. So you are not alone if you haven't read those in a couple months. I do recommend that you read them every 6 months or follow a channel like mine who's actively publishing. My name is Jenny Hansen-Lane. I've published 608 books. I've crossed 6 figures, and I love publishing. I think that if you have a call for it, you should do it. Okay. So this channel is full of tutorials, tips, tricks, updates. But as I said, Kindlepreneur put out an article about the old rules, and we want to cover them. I actually printed it out because it looks so good on their website. Okay. So let's dive in, get cozy. So here are the old rules, right? We're told what to avoid. And the reason why is because most rules are created because people have broken the rules or done something weird. Like there's a rule on Amazon not to mislead the customer, and Amazon doesn't truly tell us all the details about that, but we know there have been plenty of scammer KDPers that have actually misled the customer, and that's where that rule was created, okay? Hopefully they repented and changed their ways. All we can really do is learn from them. Some prophet or someone said, it's better to learn from someone else's mistakes than your own, right? That's why I share all my mistakes on this channel too, okay? So here's the first thing that is updated into the guidelines for keyword. Here we go. Can you see it? Words already mentioned in your book categories, okay? So if we're going to publish a children's book about traveling to California, and the category is California travel, we don't necessarily have to use that keyword in our title or our subtitle or our backend keywords. Now, that example is a little bit vague because you might already be working on a travel journal, a California travel journal, and it makes sense to call it travel, California travel journal. But the redundancy is what Amazon's trying to avoid. And one of the reasons, you guys, is because this actually allows the algorithm to work better and harder for us. For a long time, I've always known not to put duplicate keywords in my book backend because Amazon is already ranking that with the title, okay? And that is one of the most important things for keywords. Now, for those of you that are like, I already feel like this is a water hose, a garden hose, a fire extinguisher. I feel like this is so much water coming out of the hose right now. Let's cut back. Let's pause. What is a keyword? A keyword is just metadata. It's just things that Amazon uses to index your book, okay? So this is not going to be a fire hydrant video. We're going to go slow. We're going to talk about it. But it is important to understand that following these rules are going to help you. And if you don't follow them, they will actually hurt you. So I'm not fear-mongering. I love you. I want you to do well. But I want you to follow the rules because it is a form of optimization. And the more we can optimize our books, the more money we can make, okay? And that's what we want, right? We want that time freedom, okay? So think about that relevancy. Does it make sense for you to continually add the books category all over your book, okay? It might not even be that good of a customer experience, which is so important to Amazon, right? Number 2, brands that you do not have authorization to use. Someone actually asked me about this because they know that I love running ads. And so if you're going to do a sports book, you definitely do not want to put the word Nike in your backend keywords. You do not want to put Wilson for rackets or even Adidas for a soccer journal, okay? You don't have permission. Now, somebody recently asked, what is the way around this? Okay. And this is the same for categories. You can use Amazon ads to target Nike as a keyword. You can use Amazon ads to target a Wilson racket for a tennis journal. Like you can use ads. All the gloves are off. It's off limits when you pay to play. Okay. So if you previously are like, oh no, I have put unauthorized brands in my backend keywords or in my description, the beautiful thing is you can go remove them immediately. That is one thing you can edit on a book. Just for a reminder, the things you can't edit on a book are the title, the subtitle, the author, and the series, okay? But the cover, the inside, the description, and the back end keywords can all be updated and optimized. And that's the beautiful thing, is that if you don't have a book selling right now, you can optimize those things to see if that will help. But Amazon does prioritize title and key and subtitle, and that's why we prioritize it too, okay? So let me know what questions you have about targeting things like brands with ads, because to me, I already knew that you couldn't do this from all my trademark background. And I'm actually thinking, you let me know if you guys want to see. I think I'm going to trademark something, and I need to decide if I'm going to have my attorney do it or if I'm going to do it myself. So it could be more expensive if I do it myself if I keep messing up. Okay. I digress. So, number two, brands that if you don't have their permission, don't put it in the back end keywords. Now, you're like, oh, I don't chase Nike, I don't chase Adidas. But like maybe there's another self publisher and you've been using their name. That's actually illegal on YouTube too. Like I should not be putting in any of my peers in my tags for my YouTube videos. Okay, unless I'm actually talking about them or promoting them. Okay. So if you have a YouTube channel and you've been putting my name in the tags, like just write me a little note, let's collab, don't do something shady. That's against YouTube rules. Okay. So it's not actually that uncommon to see them roll this out and be more prominent with it. So you are very clear about what you can do and what you can't do. Okay. And again, Amazon's calling these guidelines. Okay. Let's dive into number three. Number three is a funny one, but it happens. We are going to avoid HTML tags. That's all that weird coding. I don't know if that was like a thing to do when ranking, but it is something that is so outdated and is something that you should actually avoid. So now that we know the rules and it feels like, oh, great, more rules, what not to do, let's actually have fun and talk about what to do, okay? Now, you've heard me share this before, but I think I'd like for you just to be very clear on it. And that is use keywords that are relevant. And so when I was reading through these rules a couple weeks ago, and I was thinking about, why now? Why is Amazon putting these things across self publishers now? And I think it's because people have misused this in the past. That's literally all I can think of why there's some laws that you're like, why is that a law? It's because someone did something crazy, right? Okay, so words already mentioned in your book categories, if it's very relevant, then I would say you can do this because this is just a guideline. Okay. If you're like, but you need to be very clear that you're not misleading the customer. Okay. The second part of this is that relevancy will get you further than any keyword hack. And so when you find keywords that you are excited to use because they're highly searched or there's low competition, you need to ask yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, how relevant is this keyword to my existing book, which includes the cover and the interior? What is inside here, right? And I would say, like, if you can't say 7, 8, 9, or 10, do not use that keyword. You do not want to get a bad review because you found a keyword that was really high in demand, but your book had nothing to do with that niche or those keywords, okay? And so some of these rules are really good because they will help the honest and integrity filled self-publisher like yourself do well. And so just remember when you're filling out the back end keywords, the long tail, short tail, when you're putting words in the 7 boxes that can be changed later, stay relevant and don't do anything repeated. If you're doing a book for a little boy, then write boy or kid and child. Don't write little boy, little boy, little boy. Like if you find little boy coloring book and then you're like little boy drawing book, like don't use that twice. Don't use boy twice because it doesn't help. And you have 352 characters, like you have a good amount of space on each line. I think it's 52 characters a line times 7. You want to take advantage of that and you want to maximize that because that is the information that Amazon is using to show your books to customers. And when they show your books to customers, that's how you get sales. So please avoid these things with the right intention. If you're like, no, I have permission from a brand to do this, then go forth and publish. I love you and thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. If you have any questions about this new update or you feel stuck about keyword research, then put that in the chat, okay? Put that in the comments below. I also have a free training coming up. I'll put a link below just right here, and I would love for you to come. Oh, and I'm okay. I had a freckle that had a little scab, so my dermatologist was like, let's just say goodbye to that. So take care of yourself. I'm cheering for you. And if you don't quit, you can't lose.